The alien slave market was loud and cruel. Strange creatures shouted prices. Metal cages lined the streets. The smell of fear and oil filled the air. Shiny lights from alien ships flashed above, but here, below, only suffering lived. Dr. Aaron, a human traveler and engineer, walked slowly through the crowd. His boots crunched on the dusty ground. He had seen many dark places in the galaxy, but this market always made him sick inside. To him, every chain, every cage, every tear was a wound against life itself. Slaves of every kind were being sold. Tall insect-like workers with broken wings, small reptile children with collars around their necks, even creatures with glowing skin prized for their light. The merchants called them products. Buyers called them investments. No one called them children. No one called them people. Aaron tried to look away. He told himself he was only here to find ship parts. Nothing more. Humans were not allowed to interfere. Galactic law was clear. No human could buy, free, or protect alien slaves. It was forbidden. Breaking that law meant prison, or worse. But then he heard it, a small voice. Weak, crying, yet full of desperate hope. Please, human. Buy me, and save me from them. Aaron froze. Slowly he turned his head. There in the corner of the market was a small cage made of black iron. Inside, tied like an animal, was a little alien girl. Her wrists were bound with rough rope. Her skin was pale blue, marked with bruises. Her large silver eyes shone with tears. She looked no older than 10 years old in human age. She was looking straight at him, straight into his soul. Please, she whispered again, her voice shaking. Aaron's chest tightened. He took a step closer, unable to stop himself. The merchant noticed. He was a fat alien with sharp teeth and long arms. His voice was oily as he waved his hand toward the cage. Ah, human! You have good eye. This one is rare. Very rare, strong blood. Expensive, yes, but worth every credit. Aaron clenched his fists. Why is she tied like that? The merchant laughed, showing his yellow teeth. She tried to run. Always fighting. But don't worry. Once trained, she will be very useful, or her organs can sell for triple. Aaron's stomach turned. Organs. This child was nothing to them but a body to cut apart. The girl pressed her face to the bars, her silver eyes begging. Please, she whispered again, save me. They will kill me. Please. Aaron felt his heart pounding. He looked around. Patrol drones hovered above the market, scanning buyers and sellers. If they saw a human buying a slave, the alarm would sound instantly. He could be arrested. His ship seized. His life destroyed. The merchant leaned closer, lowering his voice. Of course, human, you know the law. You cannot buy. But maybe, if the price is right, we can make this invisible. Aaron's mind raced. He should walk away. He should not even look at her. That was the safe choice. The smart choice, but those silver eyes, that desperate voice. He remembered Earth. He remembered the children he once treated in hospitals, building machines to help them breathe, to help them live. He remembered promises he made to himself long ago. Never turn away from a child in need. Aaron's hand trembled. He reached for his credit chip. The girl gasped softly, hope flashing across her face, but then a shadow passed over them. Aaron looked up. A patrol drone floated closer, red lights blinking. Its scanners moved side to side, recording every face, every movement. The merchant stiffened. Careful, human, he hissed. The law is watching. Aaron froze. His hand still hovered near the credit chip. The girl stared at him, tears rolling down her bruised cheeks. Her lips formed one last silent word. Please. The drone's red light stopped on Aaron. It scanned his face. It scanned the cage. It beeped as if deciding. Aaron's heart hammered in his chest. If he walked away now, the girl would die. If he acted, he could lose everything. The drone beeped again, louder this time, and in that terrible moment with the girl's pleading eyes locked on him, Aaron knew he had only seconds to decide. Would he walk away? Or would he risk the wrath of the entire galaxy to save her? The patrol drone hovered in the air, its red eye scanning everything. The market noise dimmed in Aaron's ears. He could only hear the sound of the little girl's breath, sharp and weak like she was already slipping away. The merchant's smile faded. His sharp teeth clicked nervously as he whispered, Walk away, human, too dangerous. The drone will see, but Aaron did not move. His heart hammered like a war drum. The girl clung to the bars of her cage, her silver eyes wide with fear. "Please," she whispered again. Her lips shook. Her voice cracked. "If you leave, I will die." The drone's red light blinked once, then twice, then slowly turned away, moving on to another stall. For now, it was gone. Aaron let out a slow breath. His chance was small, but it was here. He leaned closer to the merchant. His voice was hard and quiet. "How much?" The alien merchant's eyes widened. He licked his lips, surprised at the risk this human was taking. "For her, huh? Not cheap. She is last of her kind, valuable." Aaron's fists clenched. "The price." The merchant named a number so high it made even the nearby buyers gasp. Enough credits to buy a small ship? Aaron swallowed hard. His savings, his future, everything he had built could vanish with this single trade. But when he looked at the girl, shaking, bruised, and bound like an animal, the weight of money felt meaningless. He slid his credit chip across the table. Done. The merchant's grin returned. He moved fast, hiding the transfer behind his cloak so no drone could see. The machine beeped softly as the credits were stolen away into the merchant's account. The girl gasped. Her chains were unlocked, the ropes cut. She stumbled out of the cage, nearly falling. Aaron caught her in his arms. She was light, too light, like she hadn't eaten in days. Her skin was cold, her breath ragged. She pressed her face against his chest, clutching his shirt. The merchant leaned in close, his voice sly. "Be careful, human, you now carry fire in your hands. If the law finds her with you, you will burn." Aaron ignored him. He pulled his cloak tighter around the girl and guided her quickly through the crowd. He walked fast, head low, heart pounding. Every step felt like the ground could explode beneath him. Behind them, the market noise continued. But Aaron swore he could hear whispers. Other merchants murmuring about the human who had just bought what no human should ever touch. The girl trembled in his arms. They would have killed me," she whispered. Aaron looked down at her. "Not anymore. You're safe now." But even as he said the words, he knew they were not true. Not yet. They reached the edge of the market where his ship waited in the shadows. The vessel was small, patched from years of travel, but it was home. Aaron hurried inside, locking the doors behind them. The girl sat weakly in a chair, her chest rising and falling with shallow breaths. Her silver eyes followed him everywhere, wide and unsure. "What's your name?" Aaron asked softly as he prepared water and food packs. She hesitated, then whispered, "Lyra." Aaron handed her the water. She drank slowly, coughing between sips. He studied her more closely now. Strange patterns glowed faintly under her skin, like starlight trapped in her veins. Her breathing was uneven, painful. "What did they do to you?" Aaron asked. Lyra shook her head. Tears welled up. "It's not just them, my people. We cannot live long outside our world. Our lungs, they collapse in foreign air. That is why we are hunted. They keep us alive only long enough to sell our cores." Aaron frowned. "Cores?" She placed a trembling hand over her chest. "Our bodies carry energy. Some call it a biocore. They use it as power. We are not children to them. We are batteries." Aaron felt anger burn inside him. His jaw tightened. A child used as a battery. A life seen only as a tool. "No," he said firmly. "You are not a battery. You are a child, and I will keep you alive." Lyra blinked at him as if she could not believe the words. Aaron turned to his workbench. His hands moved fast, pulling out tools and metal parts. "Your lungs are failing, aren't they?" Lyra nodded weakly. Her breathing rasped louder now. "I build machines," Aaron said. "I fix what is broken. I will build you new lungs, strong ones. Ones that no one can take from you." Lyra's eyes filled with both hope and fear. "But galactic law—" Aaron stopped for a moment. He knew she was right. Building forbidden tech, saving her life, buying her freedom, each act was another crime. If caught, he would not only lose his ship, he would lose his life. But when he turned back and saw her small frame shaking in the chair, he knew the choice was already made. "I don't care about their law," Aaron said quietly. "I care about you." Lyra's lips trembled. Slowly, she reached out and held his hand. Her tiny fingers were ice cold, but they gripped with surprising strength. For the first time since he saw her in that cage, a faint smile touched her face, but outside the ship, in the cold streets of the alien market, shadows moved. The patrol drone had returned. Its red eye scanned the empty cage, the merchant's greedy grin, the whispering crowd. It beeped sharply, and then it turned, following Aaron's path. The ship's engines hummed softly as Aaron guided it away from the slave market. The stars stretched like silver lines as they entered deep space. Inside, the air was still and tense, as if the universe itself held its breath. Lyra sat quietly in the co-pilot's chair. She was small, her legs dangling, her skin pale under the dim lights. Every few seconds her chest rose with effort and a sharp wheeze followed. The sound cut into Aaron like a knife. He turned to her. "Does it always hurt like this?" She nodded weakly. "It is worse now, my lungs. They are not strong." Aaron leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees. "Then we fix it. I promised you, Lyra. I will not let you die." Her silver eyes flickered with something he had not seen before. Not just fear. Hope. Aaron guided her to the ship's med bay, a small room filled with tools, scanners, and half-finished machines. It was his workshop, the place where he repaired broken engines and built new devices. Now it would have to save a life. "Lie down here," he said gently, pointing to the bed. Lyra obeyed, curling up carefully. Her breathing rasped. Her tiny hands gripped the blanket. Aaron activated a scanner and blue light swept over her body. The screen filled with alien symbols and images of her lungs. He stared at the results, frowning. Her lungs were thin, fragile, almost transparent. They were collapsing under the ship's atmosphere. No wonder she could barely breathe. Aaron whispered to himself, "I'll need to build a complete replacement. Something strong but flexible. A system that can filter any air." He began gathering pieces, nanofibers, carbon tubes, energy filters. His hands moved quickly, practiced from years of work. But this was different. This was not a ship engine or a metal arm. This was a child's life. One mistake and she would die. Lyra watched him silently, her silver eyes wide. After a long pause, she whispered, "Why are you doing this?" "You don't even know me." Aaron stopped. He looked at her, then back at the half-built lungs. "Because I couldn't walk away. I've seen too many die when I could have helped. I will not let it happen again." Lyra's lips trembled. "My people. We were hunted. They said we were dangerous. They said we carried too much power, but we were only children. Families." Her voice broke. She turned her face away, tears slipping down her cheeks. Aaron placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You're not dangerous, Lyra, you're alive, and that means you deserve to be free." For the first time, a small spark of trust appeared in her eyes. Hours passed. Aaron worked nonstop, fitting pieces together. The machine began to take shape. 2 small artificial lungs, glowing faintly with inner light powered by a micro-core. They were beautiful, like tiny orbs of starlight, but time was running out. Lyra's breaths grew shorter, weaker. Her lips turned pale blue. "Aaron," she whispered. "I can't." "Stay with me," he said quickly, panic rising in his chest. "I'm almost done." He pushed harder, his hands shaking from the speed. Sweat ran down his forehead. He knew every second mattered. Finally, the device clicked into place. The lungs pulsed with light. They were ready. But before he could begin the operation, the ship alarm blared. A sharp, shrill sound echoed through the cabin. Aaron's head snapped up. He rushed to the cockpit. On the radar, a red signal flashed. A galactic patrol drone was following them. "No," Aaron whispered. He slammed controls, trying to jam the signal. But the drone was fast, and it was closing the distance. He returned to the med bay, his heart racing. Lyra's eyes fluttered, half-closed. She was fading. "I don't have a choice," Aaron muttered. He grabbed his surgical tools. "If I wait, she dies. If I operate now, I risk everything. But I can't let her go." He looked at Lyra. She gave the faintest nod, trusting him. Aaron worked quickly, carefully. His hands moved with precision, cutting, replacing, connecting. The new lungs slid into place, wires fusing with living tissue. Minutes felt like hours. The drone's signal beeped louder on the radar. Outside, engines roared as it drew closer. Finally, the last seal clicked shut. Aaron stepped back, his breath caught. For a moment, Lyra was still, then her chest rose. A clean, smooth breath filled her body. The glow of the artificial lungs shimmered under her skin. She gasped, then breathed again, stronger. Her silver eyes flew open, shining like stars. I can breathe," she whispered, her voice full of wonder. Aaron smiled, exhausted but relieved. "Yes, you can. And you will keep breathing. I promise." Lyra reached out, gripping his hand tightly. For the first time, her small lips curved into a real smile, but the joy did not last. The ship alarm wailed again, louder than before. The patrol drone had locked onto their vessel. On the screen, a cold message flashed. Human vessel detected. Suspected violation of galactic law. Prepare for boarding. Aaron's face hardened. He squeezed Lyra's hand. No matter what happens, I will protect you. The ship shook as the drone's claws latched onto the hull. The sound of metal tearing filled the air. Lyra's eyes widened with fear. They're here. Aaron reached for his tools, not just for building, but for fighting. The door of the ship hissed, and the cold red lights of the patrol flooded inside. The ship shook as metal claws from the patrol drone clamped onto the hull. Warning lights flashed red across the cockpit. Alarms screamed, filling every corner of the small vessel. Aaron grabbed the pilot's chair, forcing the ship into a hard spin. "Hold on, Lyra!" he shouted. Lyra clutched the seat beside him, her new lungs glowing faintly under her skin. She gasped at the sudden jolt, her silver eyes wide with fear. The drone's voice echoed through the speakers, cold and sharp. "Human vessel, you are under investigation. Prepare for boarding. Do not resist." Aaron's jaw tightened. He muttered under his breath. "Resist is exactly what I'm going to do." He slammed a switch. The ship's engines roared, blasting them forward. Sparks flew as the drone's claws scraped along the hull, finally tearing away. Lyra stumbled forward, nearly falling. Aaron caught her with one arm, then pulled her back into her seat. "You're safe," he said quickly, though his heart pounded. "Stay low. Stay quiet." The radar screen glowed red. The drone wasn't alone. 2 more patrol ships appeared, closing in fast. Aaron's hands flew over the controls. "They know, Lyra. Someone reported you. They won't stop now. They'll chase us until we're caught." Lyra's small voice shook. "If they take me, they'll cut me apart. They'll use my core." Aaron looked at her, at the fragile glow in her chest where the artificial lungs pulsed with life. His grip tightened on the controls. "Not while I'm alive." The ship shot into a narrow asteroid field. Jagged rocks spun in the darkness, lit only by the faint glow of distant stars. "Dangerous place," Aaron muttered, maneuvering between massive stones. "But it's the only way." Behind them, the patrol ships followed, their lights slicing through the dark. Blaster fire lit up the asteroids, chunks of rock exploding into fragments. Lyra covered her ears at the sound. "They're too many." Aaron pushed the throttle harder. "Then we make it harder for them." He flipped another switch, releasing mines from the ship's belly. Small explosions echoed in the field, scattering debris. One patrol ship clipped a rock and spun out, vanishing in a fiery blast. Lyra gasped. "So you destroyed it?" Aaron's face was grim. "One down. 2 more to go." Suddenly, the second drone locked on. A red beam lanced across their hull, burning into the metal. The ship shook violently. Sparks rained from the ceiling. "Shields failing," the computer warned. Aaron cursed. He twisted the ship into a dive, scraping close against a spinning asteroid. Metal screamed as the hull barely cleared the rock. The drone tried to follow but clipped its wing against the asteroid. With a flash, it exploded into shards of fire. Only one patrol remained. The strongest. Aaron's breath was heavy. Sweat dripped down his neck. His ship was damaged, engines groaning with every push, but Lyra was alive beside him, clutching the chair, her breath steady with her new lungs. That gave him strength. Between bursts of fire, Lyra whispered, "Why do you fight for me? You could leave me, save yourself." Aaron's eyes never left the controls. "Because I can't. Because when I saw you in that cage, I remembered something." "Remembered what?" "My little sister," Aaron said quietly. "Back on Earth, she was sick when we were young. Couldn't breathe. I built her a machine to help her lungs. It kept her alive until doctors could fix her. She used to look at me the way you looked at me today, with hope." Lyra's eyes softened. For the first time, her voice was calm. "Then I am like your sister?" Aaron's lips pressed into a thin line. "No, you're Lyra, and I'll protect you as if you were my own blood." The last patrol drone fired again. A blast tore through the rear engine. The ship spiraled, alarms shrieking. Aaron gritted his teeth. "We can't outrun it. We have to outsmart it." He steered the ship toward the largest asteroid, a spinning giant that cast long shadows. The patrol followed, guns blazing. At the last second, Aaron killed the engines. The ship went dark, drifting silently into the asteroid's shadow. The patrol drone overshot, scanning wildly. Aaron whispered, "Now." He reignited the engines, blasting forward. The ship shot out of the shadows and rammed straight into the drone's wing. The impact shook the cabin. Metal screamed. But the drone spun, lost control, and slammed into the asteroid with a thunderous explosion. Silence followed. Only the hum of Aaron's damaged ship remained. Aaron leaned back in his chair, chest heaving. His hands shook as he powered down weapons. The red lights faded. Lyra stared at him, her silver eyes wide with awe. You beat them. You saved me again, Aaron gave a tired smile. For now. But they'll send more. We can't stay here. We need to disappear. Lyra touched her chest, feeling the steady beat of her new lungs. Tears filled her eyes. If I live, it's because of you. But if they catch you, they'll kill you. Aaron turned to her, his voice firm. Then we'll make sure they never catch us. He set a new course away from the asteroid field into the dark unknown. But as the ship jumped to speed, a message flashed on the screen. Wanted, human engineer. Crime purchase of biocore slave. Reward 1 million credits. Lyra's face went pale. They've put a price on you. Aaron's eyes hardened. Then the whole galaxy will be hunting us. The ship drifted silently in deep space, far from trade routes and star lanes. Inside, only the hum of failing engines and the faint glow of emergency lights broke the silence. Aaron sat beside the medbay, his eyes fixed on Lyra. She lay on the bed, her chest rising and falling with steady breaths. Her small body no longer shook with pain. The new lungs he built pulsed faintly under her skin, glowing like two tiny stars. For hours he had watched, waiting for her body to accept the implants. Now finally her breathing was smooth, strong, human-like. Lyra's silver eyes fluttered open. For a moment confusion filled her gaze. Then she whispered, her voice soft but clear, "I can breathe." Aaron felt a weight lift from his chest. He leaned forward, smiling for the first time in days. "Yes, you can." She sat up slowly, touching her chest with trembling fingers. "It doesn't hurt anymore. It feels light, like air flows forever." Aaron chuckled quietly. "That's what healthy lungs are supposed to feel like." Lyra looked at him with wonder. Then, for the first time since he had seen her in that cage, she smiled. A real smile. For a short while, the galaxy seemed far away. Aaron prepared food and Lyra ate greedily, laughing between bites. She coughed once, then giggled. Aaron watched her with quiet pride. "You're stronger already." Lyra tilted her head. "You saved me twice now. First from the cage, then from my own body. Why do you care so much?" Aaron leaned back in his chair. His eyes softened. "Because life is worth saving. No law, no price, no danger changes that." Lyra grew thoughtful. "In my people's tongue," she whispered, "there is a word for someone who gives breath to another. We called them soul keepers." She looked at him, her silver eyes shining. "You are my soul keeper." Aaron's chest tightened. He swallowed hard, unsure how to answer. Instead, he only nodded, but the peace did not last. The ship's console beeped. A red warning flashed across the screen. Aaron hurried to the cockpit, Lyra close behind him. On the radar, a cluster of signals appeared. Not one, not two, a fleet. Dozens of patrol ships had locked onto their position. Aaron's face went pale. "They found us," Lyra clutched his arm, her voice trembling. "How? We were hidden." Aaron gritted his teeth. "Because someone wants us too badly. They've put a bounty on my head. Every scanner in the quadrant is searching for us." The radio crackled. A deep, commanding voice filled the cabin. "Human vessel, power down your engines. You are under arrest for violating galactic law. Resist and you will be destroyed." Lyra's eyes filled with tears. "They'll kill you." "And me?" Aaron shook his head. "Not if I can help it." He threw the ship into a dive, engines screaming in protest. Blasts of energy lit up the dark as patrol ships opened fire. The cabin shook violently, sparks raining from the ceiling. Lyra fell to her knees, clutching the seat. Aaron grabbed her quickly, pulling her close. "Stay with me." "Don't let go!" The ship spun through the enemy fleet, weaving between blaster fire. Explosions lit the void like fireworks. Aaron's hands flew over the controls, his mind focused, his body moving faster than thought. But there were too many. For every drone he dodged, two more appeared. Lyra's new lungs kept her breathing steady, but her heart raced in terror. "We can't win. There are hundreds." Aaron's jaw tightened. "Maybe we don't win. Maybe we just survive." He steered the ship toward a massive gas giant. The swirling clouds of red and gold filled the screen, storms raging across its surface. "Hold tight," Aaron muttered. If they want us, they'll have to follow. The ship plunged into the planet's upper atmosphere. Lightning flashed across the sky. Winds howled, shaking the vessel like a toy. The patrol fleet followed, their lights piercing the storm. Aaron pushed the engines to their limit. The ship rattled, metal groaning. "Come on, old girl. Hold together for me." Lyra clung to his arm. Her silver eyes shone with fear but also trust. The storm swallowed them whole. Visibility dropped to nothing. The patrol ships fired blindly, blasts vanishing into the clouds. Aaron cut the engines, letting the storm carry them deeper. The ship drifted silently, hidden in the chaos. For a moment it worked. The patrol signals scattered, confused. Some ships collided in the storm, their wrecks burning out in the gas giant's sky. But the radio crackled again. The same deep voice thundered through the cabin. "Human, you cannot run forever. The law will catch you, and when it does, you will die for what you've done." Aaron gripped the controls tighter, his teeth clenched. "Let them come. I'll fight until my last breath." Lyra touched his hand gently. "And I will fight too, because now I can breathe." Her new lungs glowed brighter as if answering her words. But outside the storm, a shadow loomed. Larger than any patrol drone, larger than any ship Aaron had seen. A galactic command cruiser entered orbit, its cannons glowing with deadly power. The console beeped again. A new message flashed across the screen. "Final warning. Surrender the biocore child, or be destroyed." Aaron's heart froze. His hands trembled on the controls. Lyra squeezed his hand, whispering with quiet strength, "Don't give me to them. I would rather die free." Aaron looked at her, then back at the massive cruiser. His mind raced, but no safe path appeared. The storm raged. The enemy closed in, and for the first time Aaron wondered if he could truly win this race against the law. The ship trembled as the galactic command cruiser's tractor beam locked on. Aaron's vessel shuddered helplessly, pulled upward like a toy in the grip of a giant hand. Alarms screamed. Sparks burst from the ceiling. Aaron tried to break free, but the controls no longer obeyed him. The cruiser's gravity field was too strong. Lyra clung to his arm. "They've caught us." Aaron's jaw tightened. He placed a steady hand on her shoulder. "No matter what happens, don't be afraid. I won't let them take you without a fight." But in his heart he knew the truth. They were trapped. Moments later, the ship was dragged into the hangar of the cruiser. Armed guards surrounded them instantly. Their armor gleamed silver, their faces hidden behind masks. Blasters aimed straight at Aaron's chest. "Step out, human," one of them barked. Aaron raised his hand slowly, standing tall. Lyra tried to follow, but the guards shoved her back. "No," Aaron shouted, struggling against them. "She stays with me." A taller officer approached, his voice cold. "The child is evidence. You are the criminal." "Separate them," Lyra screamed, reaching for Aaron as the guards dragged her away. Her silver eyes filled with terror. Aaron fought, but the butt of a rifle slammed into his ribs, dropping him to the floor. Pain exploded through his side. Still, he lifted his head, shouting hoarsely, "Lyra, don't let them break you. I'll find you." Her voice echoed as she was pulled down another corridor. Soulkeeper. The word burned in Aaron's heart. Hours later, he was thrown into a massive chamber, the Galactic Court. The room was circular, with tall, glowing pillars stretching into the darkness above. Dozens of alien judges sat on floating platforms, their faces cold and distant. At the center, a raised podium shone with harsh white light, the place where Aaron now stood. The lead judge, a towering figure with skin like molten stone, spoke in a booming voice. "A human stands before us. He is accused of grave crimes, interfering with lawful trade, purchasing restricted property, building forbidden technology, and defying galactic law." Murmurs echoed through the chamber. Aliens of every kind filled the galleries, watching the rare sight of a human on trial. The judge's eyes burned like fire.
"How do you plead, human?"
Aaron lifted his head. His ribs still ached, but his voice was strong. "Not guilty. I saved a child's life. That is no crime." A wave of angry whispers rippled through the court. The judge slammed his staff, the sound echoing like thunder. "Silence! The law is clear. Biocore children are not recognized as persons. They are property. By purchasing her, you broke the law. By altering her body, you committed a forbidden act." Aaron's fists clenched. "Property? She has a name. She has a soul. How can you not see that?" The judge's eyes narrowed. The law does not care for souls. The law cares for order. From the side, guards dragged Lyra into the chamber. She was bound again, her silver eyes wide with fear. She struggled, crying out, "He saved me. He gave me breath. You cannot punish him." The crowd gasped. The judge raised a hand for silence. "Child, your words hold no weight here. You are not a citizen. You are evidence." Lyra shook her head fiercely. Tears streamed down her face. "He is not a criminal. He is a soul keeper." Aaron's throat tightened. He wanted to break free, to run to her, but the guards held him fast. The judge turned back to Aaron. "You defied the highest law of the galaxy. There can only be one sentence." The chamber fell silent. Every eye turned to the podium. Aaron stared back, unflinching. "Then say it. Let them all hear the price of mercy." The judge raised his staff. His voice was a hammer striking stone. "The punishment is death." Gasps filled the court. Lyra screamed, "No! No, you can't!" She fought against the guards with all her strength, her new lungs giving her power. Aaron stood tall, his eyes locked on hers. "Don't cry, Lyra. Remember what I told you. Never let them break you." The guards began to pull him toward the execution chamber. But suddenly the doors at the far end of the court slammed open. Every head turned as a cloaked figure entered. His steps were slow, heavy, but filled with authority. The guards moved to stop him, but he raised a single hand. A wave of energy blasted them back like leaves in the wind. The crowd gasped. Whispers filled the air. "Impossible. That power. It can't be." The figure threw back his hood. His face was scarred, his eyes glowing with the same silver light as Lyra's. Aaron's breath caught. Lyra froze, her tears forgotten. The man's voice was deep and powerful. "I am elder of the last survivors. This child is not property. She is heir to a people you tried to erase." The judges shifted uneasily. The lead judge slammed his staff. "You have no authority here." The elder's eyes blazed. "I have authority older than your laws. The humans saved what you tried to destroy, and now your empire will answer for its crimes." The chamber erupted in chaos. Guards rushed forward, the crowd shouted. The judges shouted over one another. Aaron stood frozen, shock and hope battling inside him. Lyra's silver eyes filled with tears, not of fear this time, but of wonder. She whispered one word, "Family." The galactic court shook with chaos. The cloaked elder stood tall in the center, his silver eyes glowing like Lyra's. Energy crackled around him, raw and dangerous. The judges shouted over one another. Guards rushed forward, weapons raised. The crowd gasped, torn between fear and awe. Aaron struggled against the chains that bound him. His eyes locked on the elder. "Who are you?" The elder's voice was steady, deep as thunder. "I am Kalen, last elder of the Solari. The girl you saved is not just a child. She is heir to what remains of my people, and today she is proof that the galaxy has lied for too long." Lyra's eyes widened. "Elder Kalen!" Her voice shook. "I thought we were all gone." Kalen's gaze softened as he looked at her. "Not gone, child, scattered, hunted, but not gone. You are our hope." The lead judge slammed his staff against the floor, his voice booming. "Enough, the law does not bend for ghosts. Human, you stand condemned. Child, you will be reclaimed as property. And as for you, elder, you will be erased like the rest of your kind." Kalen raised his hand. Energy flared, pushing the guards back. "No, not this time." The chamber erupted in violence. Blaster fire filled the air. The elder's power tore through the guards' ranks, scattering them like leaves in a storm. Aaron broke free from his weakened chains, grabbing a fallen guard's weapon. He rushed to Lyra, pulling her close. "Stay with me." She clung to him, breathing steady with her new lungs, her silver eyes burning with determination. The crowd in the gallery shouted. Some cried out in fear, but others, aliens who had lost family to the slave markets, began to chant, "Free them! Down with the law! No more chains!" The voices grew louder, echoing through the chamber like thunder. For the first time, the court itself shook not just from battle, but from rebellion. Aaron turned to Kalen. "We can't fight them all. What do we do?" The elder's eyes glowed brighter. "We don't need to fight them all. We need to show them the truth." He pointed at Lyra. "Let them see her, alive, breathing free, a child, not a battery. That is stronger than any weapon." Lyra stepped forward, her voice rising above the noise. "I am Lyra of the Solari. I am not property. I am not a tool. I am alive." The gallery roared. More voices joined the chant for freedom. Guards hesitated, looking at one another with doubt. Even some judges leaned back, shaken, the lead judge's face twisted with rage. He raised his staff high. Silence her. Destroy them all! Aaron aimed the blaster at him. Try it, and I swear you'll fall first. The standoff froze the room. Then Kalen lifted both hands. A wave of energy spread across the chamber, knocking every weapon to the floor. Blasters sparked and shattered. Chains broke, the elder's voice boomed. Your law is built on lies. On chains, but chains always break. Today the galaxy will remember that freedom cannot be silenced. Aaron's chest swelled with fierce pride as he watched. Lyra's hand slipped into his, her grip strong, but the lead judge was not done. With a furious roar, he struck his staff against the floor. A beam of pure energy shot toward Lyra. Aaron leapt forward, ready to shield her with his body. But before the beam could strike, Kalen moved. The elder threw himself in front of them, taking the blast full in the chest. The impact shook the chamber. Kalen! Lyra screamed. He fell to one knee, smoke rising from his chest. His breathing was heavy, but his eyes still glowed. He looked at Lyra, his voice faint but steady. You must live. You are the last. Carry our name. Carry our hope. Tears ran down Lyra's face. She clutched his hand. Don't leave me. Kalen smiled weakly. I leave you the human. He is your protector. Your soul keeper. Together you will light the fire. Then his eyes dimmed and his body slumped. Lyra sobbed, holding him. Aaron placed a hand on her shoulder, his own chest heavy with grief. The chamber fell silent. Even the judges froze, staring at the fallen elder. The crowd began to chant louder than before. Freedom! 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 The sound grew, shaking the pillars, filling the air like a storm. The lead judge looked around, realizing control was slipping from his grasp. For the first time, fear flickered across his face. Aaron raised his voice, shouting to the gallery. This is the truth. You call it law, but it is slavery. You call it order, but it is cruelty. Today you all saw what they tried to hide. You saw a child given new breath. You saw hope rise again. The chants grew deafening. Guards dropped their weapons. Some even tore off their helmets and joined the cry. Lyra stood, her silver eyes blazing through tears. She lifted her chin. Her new lungs glowed brighter under her skin, each breath strong and clear. No more cages, she shouted. No more chains. My people will live free again, and all children will live free again. The chamber erupted in thunderous cheers. The rebellion had begun. Hours later, Aaron and Lyra stood together on the steps of the court, surrounded by freed slaves and cheering crowds. The law that once condemned them was crumbling, its power broken. Lyra leaned against Aaron, her voice soft but filled with strength. You gave me breath. Now I will give the galaxy hope. Aaron looked down at her, pride and sorrow mixing in his heart. Then it was worth everything. Together they stepped into the light of a new dawn.